Oh, that's what I was going to say. Um, if I'm loose with hero points, it forces me to into a a war of nuclear escalation. I don't get time to spend time with the villains at their current power level and figure out how to run them. I'm just adding points and boosting things kind of artificially to keep up with you guys, to compete with you. Uh, if I slow it down with a stingy application of hero points, I get the
Yep.
time that I need to run the supervillains better.
I like it.
My thought. I don't know if this is
Yep.
playing out in practice, but that's the goal. That's the intent.
Well, and this is something we used to talk about, Jay, back in the first iteration of the game, is you can min-max and play your characters for how quickly can you get how powerful, but nobody has done that here. Maybe a little bit with Olympian, but people have not, none of the characters in this game since the beginning have tried for that maximum power impact.
Yep. And for a character like Olympian, it's going to happen just because of the power set is very narrow and very concise, so he doesn't have to spread his points around.
Yep.
Yeah, if you use if you have a lot of powers, each power is weaker. If you only have like two powers, they're both going to be very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes the same with your attributes. You could have create a new character with a dexterity of 10, a strength of 10, and like a flight of 10, and you could just fly around really fast and beat people up.
Well, my marquee power is factor
and then
cost
as
10.
soon as you run right into that first person who can mind control, you're their you're their beehod.
You drop them. Yeah.
But yeah,
they got weakness. They got a weakness.
They do. And you'll see villains. They'll have that one strong power, and if you can figure a way around that, you can find their glass chin
power
and take them down.
Or strong defensive power.
Well, that's what I mean. A guy like Olympian, he's raising his strength. That's factor cost 6. That's high enough. Flight is factor cost 3, which is really cheap. For me to raise my big powers factor cost 10, and it's now over 8, which means it's 150 points a level. That's very hard. And I think kind of to counter Jay's point is the more you push things high end, especially with the big powers like that, they get really, really difficult to raise.
Well, Jay, did you get
That's true. That's true. But I've also been trying to say yes a lot to your guys' ideas on how you can use your powers.
Yeah. Agreed. So it's a very good game. It's going well. And this is all
Yep, looks like that. So let's get into the game. We need a calendar. Do you guys need to know what?
I
do. I got
real quick, Jay. I want to ask about 2 things. One,
fire away.
I have to pay. I don't know about how time is passing. So remember, I have my guilty fee. I have to pay every week. So whenever a week of time passes, I need to know.
Okay. You entered the scene on the 29th of July, 2020.
He's got it. Yes.
It is now, I think, the morning of July the 30th. So you've been in the game time 12 hours.
Wow. That's only been 12 hours.
But it is, right? Well, see, I have this calendar, and I think I've posted this.
Yep.
On July 21st, you traveled to the quarry of a million tragedies. July 25th, you traveled to Starhold. July 28th, Olympian first got into a scrap with Black Paladin, and then everybody got dragged into it through the night of the 28th from the 28th through the 29th. Those 2 days was nothing but battling Black Paladin and Zekula. And now it's the morning of July 2020, and Jimmy Mac's in the hospital, shot, and you guys were figuring out what to do next. It's a full slate.
Well, I tell you
So
what, last time we were talking, I had some.
It's not
real
12 hours.
questions.
You just said
No,
you just said a bunch of days.
The professor's, yes, but the professor's been in the scene for 12 hours. You were not on Starhold. You weren't there for these other things.
Okay. Gotcha.
We might have,
You've been
we might
in the
have crashed
action
the
from
space
the
station.
29th
You
to the
didn't want to
30th.
catch that one. Crashing the space
So,
station completely.
from all intents and purposes.
And so,
Okay. Got it. So it's only been 12 hours since I raised that girl at the college in my very first session.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, this.
Yep.
Well, okay. Well, then the last thing was that I told you for me to upgrade my upgrades to my gizmos, I'm going to need like a day and a half of alone time. So whenever that break squeezes in, let me know.
Well, yeah, that would be Friday afternoon on the 31st. What everyone else wants to do from Thursday morning to Friday afternoon, yes, they need to speak up and let us know what they're doing. And I'm bringing in Chrome.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
The argument we were in the midst
Yes.
of was
Good gravy. That was a pain.
good gravy.
It took me 17 minutes to boot up my computer and get us all streamed and collected together.
Well, I apologize.
So,
I'm using my wife's laptop traveling, and I had to get my mic working. And so.
All good, brother.
Yep. We all do it in 3 sessions. Someone's got to wrestle it. So, yeah, I was just asking Chrome, Metal and Oaken what they want to do for the next day and a half while the professor is working on his gadgets. He's going to spend a day and a half fixing it, working on it, and improving it.
I plan to make the rounds at the colleges, trying to build my influence and get people, to recognize and cheer for the new hero on the block. Though I didn't spend my points for it now, I plan to at some point in the future become a local hero.
Got you. Very interesting. And completely doable. Oaken, what are you gonna do?
I'm hanging out with Chrome. I'm hanging out with Chrome.
Well, no, you're hanging out with Metal. Chrome's going to cruise the
Metal.
college scene and build up his influence. I don't know if
Tell you
Chrome
what.
wants you to come along or not.
I can use your help.
Oh no, well.
No offense, but a couple
No,
thousand-year-old ghost chick might
I just
cramp my
couldn't see your
style.
picture. I didn't know who was talking. Now I'll leave it up to Metal. I'm with Metal. Whatever path he takes, I'm with him.
So I'm going vampire hunting.
Cool.
So you
Right up
want to
my
go head
alley.
down to the where the vampire gang hangs out, where their turf is.
Gonna try to
Their
Incognito
headquarters?
in the down low. I don't want to go and making a big splash and land with an explosion. I want to go see if I can figure it out. Investigation stuff.
Okay, the vampires. Yeah, the vampires are in Forsyth neighborhood. That's west of Elmview, west of the Strip. Their headquarters, if you would, is out of Big Wheels Tire Rack. It's a tire store, you know.
Yep.
You go in, get your oil changed, tires swiped out, or whatever. They're usually all about like hijacking trucks with new tires, and they sell them out of Big Wheels Tire Rack, like gangsters do. It's not even a chop shop. They're hijacking. It can be. There's probably other things they go on. They probably got warehouses or whatever. But yeah, they're front, and so they have a place in back of the shop where they hang out, where they come with their drug money, drop off their drug money to their boss. And
who do we think this boss is?
Just their he's got a let's get a name. Anyone got a random name generator? Because he's just an average gangbanger. I mean, there's nothing special about these guys except that they are openly flaunting Metal's mandate of no violence and are aggressively pushing in on the Nubians' territory. And Jimmy Mack has said a couple of his guys have gone missing.
Well, this guy's
So,
the
okay,
leader
here's
of
the thing.
vampires.
I've got to go
Something
threaten some
bad or
people,
something.
and they've got to. Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying something, Chrome.
I just said if he's the leader of the vampires, his name ought to be Vlad.
Okay, there you go. And I'm also seeing it's a gang of white guys too. You know, white boys, the vampires. You know, they're pale. Let's say they're pale heroin addicts,
Oh, God.
ripping off semis full of tires.
So I kind of made the point with the team earlier that I understand working with gangs and trying to keep the violence down and all that, and not everyone approves of what I did. I may have to go in here and be violent to people, but not until somebody tries really hard to shoot me first. And I know how scary you are. How do you feel about coming in and being terrifying? Okay, that's on you.
What do you say? Want me to go in and be terrifying?
I can't. So yeah.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yeah.
I gotta go scare some. Yep.
Yeah, we can survey the building or shop, whatever they're in, real quick, and I can just use my dispersal to go through the wall and terrify them.
So hang on to it. I'm gonna need you to do that in like 3 minutes. You'll know when. There's no question. You'll know when. Vlad the Inhaler.
Done.
I was going to call him Vladimir Peterbilt because he likes trucks.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Vlad the Inhaler. I love it.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Because got to come up with a lot of names in a modern role-playing game. Everybody's got a name. You just can't call them orcs.
You should see if you can find an old phone book somewhere and just flip it open to a page to select your names from.
100%. 100%. The next time when was the last time I seen them? I may get them in the mail. Professor, okay, you were just raising your hand for the lad. The coming and going, the store front runs like a regular tire shop, but in the back there's a lot of people coming and going. Obviously, gang members. They're active. They're going out and coming back and doing their gangster errands, whatever they're being told what to do.
So I'm going to put on the motorcycle suit so I look like I just came in here in a motorcycle.
Uh-huh.
Just, you hate most of my costumes because I'm undercover most of the time. And I'm going to literally walk in the front door of the tire shop. And
okay.
And what? This is just basically gangster doing tire stuff? Is it really obvious gang activity, or are they actually running a tire shop?
Oh no, that's all in the back. That's all in the back.
Okay.
The whole front, like the front counter
Yep.
and the bays where work is being done, they're just using stolen goods to put.
But they're
on
actually running a
people's
tire shop.
cars.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm walking
and
right.
so they're also using it to launder money as well. So the counter person would just wants to ask, what can you help you with your car?
Oh,
we don't do motorcycles. We don't sell motorcycle tires.
There's got to be a back door.
Oh, you walk right past them, and then you get.
Locks don't mean much to me. I'm going to walk right to the back door and open them.
Counter.
Yep.
Well, since you went through the front, then it's just swinging doors that go into the work bay.
Yep.
With the garage bays, and there's cars being worked on, and that's where you first get stopped by some dudes going, "Hey, where are you going? You can't be back here. Employees only." That kind of bullshit.
Hey, we're here to do some business, and from what I understand, we just had a deal go badly. Now, I understand it's your job to put tires in the end of your dick or whatever you do with tires. Why don't you find me whoever writes the paychecks to your boss? I won't wait long. I want to roll to intimidate, please.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's do it.
Acting value is 7. Effect value is 6. Roll of a 9.
Okay, their opposing value is going to be their influence, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be 2.
Is spirit. Yep.
So you probably need something like a 5 or a 4 or better to intimidate.
Roll to 9. Yep.
Okay, effect.
Effect value 6.
Woo. One of them looks like it's about to crack wise. The other one whispers something in their ear and goes, and the guy's eyes go wide. And it goes, yeah, just wait a minute. I'll be right back.
I turn off the effect that keeps me from appearing on camera, and I want to look right in the center of whatever security cameras I can find.
Okay, yeah, they're like all 4 corners of the place. They're readily available. The camera is looking at you not too far away.
I'm rubbing off on metal. Now she's looking for the limelight.
Shortly, the guy comes back weaving through the cars between them, and he goes, "Yeah, come this way."
Okay.
And he walks you into the back room. It's spacious with just racks of tires and stereos and duffel bags and about 15, 18 guys. And one of them, who must be Vlad the Inhaler, says, "Ooh, so this is the much
He's holding a big
and toted metal. What do we do to owe the honor of your incredible presence?"
So I want you to tell me where my
It's
misunderstanding starts.
They're listening to Royal Trucks.
Yeah. I turned down the volume in the radios without moving. So I want you to tell me where my misunderstanding starts. A friend of mine, Jimmy Mack, he's in the hospital. He tells me some of your boys shot him. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. He wouldn't see reason. He wouldn't see the fact that Elmview is going to be our territory too.
Well, If you have a dispute on territory, we talk about it. You talk about it the same way the Laotians do, or the mayor does, or the Chinese does. And if you have a problem with that, you have a problem with a lot more than just the mayor, the Chinese, or the FBEE. You do know what happened to the Russians, right?
Oh, yeah, everyone knows what happens to the Russians, Metal. But you see, there's also someone who's looking to call the shots in town, and they've got a pretty good proposal. It's starting to turn some heads.
So
Some
who would
of
this
them might
person
not
be?
start seeing, like myself.
Well,
Retro
we could.
goes by the name of Retro. It's a she, by the way, and
Woman
she's
named
got
Retro.
the sweet hookups.
What type of hookups do you imagine you're getting?
Weapons.
Oh, we're going to have a problem. You see, we banned big guns from in the city.
And
I
you can see
understand.
that they're armed with, they got 9mm semi-autos.
That's fine.
There's some semi-automatic, like what assault rifle call it. I'll just, like what is it? The AR-15 guns like that, leaning against the wall. So
if you bring
they
in
do
the
have
big guns, if your new friend wants to bring in the big guns, we're going to be back at the full-scale shooting war we were at less than a year ago. I don't even know how many people died in the street before we drove out the Russians. And I think they're still finding pieces of that Russian kingpin. He was the guy there when we dropped a radio station on him. Not a metaphor.
Oh, Metal.
So
we're not getting hooked up with just any guns. Let me show you the kind of guns we're getting hooked up with.
Okay.
And all 15 of these guys start going for either something in their jacket or something behind a rack of tires. But everyone's making a move to whatever they're talking about. These guns are that they're really stoked about.
Okay, I call Oaken, but then I'm gonna make it a multi-attack, or I'm gonna see if I can get a multi-attack on all of them.
Okay, you probably will beat them, but let's roll some initiative.
24 plus 4 is 28.
Yeah. Do I even need to roll initiative?
Initiative is 1 dice, right?
Yep.
Correct.
I got 19. My initiative 19. I rolled an 8, so 27.
Nice.
Okay. You got a 27. You got a 28. And these guys can get as high as their max that they could get is a 17. So the heroes go first.
So these guys are going for guns. Are they Star Pulse guns by any chance?
Yep. But they're the they're not the polished ones that you saw in the hands of the Capital Point Casino goons.
Okay.
These are the ones that look homemade.
Oh, the Ponsville crowd. Joy. So how many guys are there reaching for guns? Just give me more than 8, less than 8.
All of them.
How many? How many guys?
15. 15.
15 it is. That would be
Plus
4
1.
total. Good God.
Plus Vlad.
Plus Vlad, yeah. We'll give him a single. There's a 6. There's Vlad. 15 and Vlad.
Too many to take in a single attack. All right. And we're all in the back room of a garage, right?
Yeah. So there's plenty of metal stuff around, racks
I guess it's time for me to make my entrance.
Yes, I get first act, but I definitely need you right after. Can I get 4 or call it 4 of them directly in front of me? Something like that.
No, the quarters are tight enough that, yeah, you can get a group of 4 of them easily if you wanted to target 4.
Yep. I want to target 4, and I want to put the force shield up behind me. So the guys in front of me, I'm attacking, and I'm defending from behind.
Okay, so love it. So they get a 2 column shifts in their favor. They're in the 7 to 8 column. For 3, they're in the 7 to 8.
I'm doing a sweep attack, so that should find me in the column.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm attacking in the 11, 12.
And your acting value, what's it?
11.
11, 12.
Plus
5 or better.
For the sweep. What's that? 5?
Yeah. And you got
5.
Yep. You got to get a 5 or better.
Well, good. I rolled a 5.
Yes. Okay. The resistance, of course, is pretty low. It's 3, but they do get a bonus. Do they get a reduction because of the sweep attack on their resistance value as well?
I don't believe
Not
so.
that it matters. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's enough damage that, as in the superheroic tradition, bang, they're thrown and cast about the room, smash into things, and are bashed unconscious. Oaken, you got a signal from Metal that it was time to act.
Yeah, I've been hanging out on the roof waiting. So I'm going to dispersal through the roof and drop.
Okay.
Right
what would you like to do?
I'm gonna.
Okay. You've dropped right in the middle of the room. Poof.
Yep.
You are there, and you can still take a dice action.
I'm going to do a sonic blast, but I'm not going to target one person. I'm going to spread it out.
Okay. You'd have to pick a number of people because that determines.
All right, I'll hit another
modifier.
4. I'll hit a
How
fresh
much harder
4.
you make it.
I dropped 4.
Okay.
11 more.
Okay. What's your acting value? What's your acting value? That is the number those are the numbers. Like
it's probably your
if you get
APs
a 9
of power.
to dexterity, that's your acting value. If you're using a power, it's the APs of the power.
Oh, my sonic
blast. Like you have a sonic blast.
My sonic blast
9.
is 9.
Yep, Yep, that's what I mean by the numbers. Those are the numbers we're talking about. Whatever power or attribute you're using, because that tells me you got a 9. They get 4. You need to roll a 9 or better to get 4 of them at once.
On 2 dice.
Yep.
Hey, Professor, is this the point where we start saying, did they start a fight without us?
I rolled a 7.
You know, I did offer to invite you to this fight.
I just remember when we went to Avery Mansion.
Oh yeah.
They drop to the floor and avoid it. And then they're rolling on the floor and trying to get their guns underneath them. So 4 of them are out. There's, let's say,
4 of them cannot attack.
4 of them can't attack. 4 of them can't attack because of line of sight. No, and so that leaves what, 7 that still have line of sight and can fire?
Correct.
So 4 are going to shoot at Oaken is low. They rolled a 6. 4 are going to shoot at Metal. 3 are going to shoot at Oaken. 4. Team attack at 4 is a -2 to your opposing value. Acting value is a 6.
My opposing is 8 before
Nice.
modified.
So they're going to need a 9 or better to hit you. Let's level out the dice tray. A 5. The freaking shrieking undead ghost makes them shoot wildly when they see his manifestation and his appearance and screeching and doing his sonic blast. Oaken, the 3 that are shooting at you, what's your dexterity?
8.
8. Okay. 6. And is that what you got for defense? Is dexterity, or do you have any defensive powers that might apply here?
Dispersal.
Probably not.
Yeah, dispersal.
My dispersal is my defense.
Okay. What's the acting value of your dispersal power?
9.
9. Okay, that's good. That's 9. They're at a 6. So team attack, they get
Can martial
2.
art some defense?
Yeah, but I think it's lower.
Okay.
It's a lower value. You always want to go with what you have highest. They get a 13. They blast you with Star Pulse, homemade Star Pulse guns. So it's okay. It has a flash attack at 6, an energy blast at 8, and a mental blast at 6. The energy blast at 8 goes against your dispersal power of 10.
9.
But they get 2 column shifts. 9. Okay, yep, same column. Your body, you take 3 points of body damage, knocked back 40 feet. What's your intelligence?
5.
Okay, you take 3 points of mind damage. What does the flash do again? What's that go against?
It's going to
Body
lower
as well?
your dex. Well, yeah, but it lowers your dex. So the number of RAPs of damage, it makes it harder for you to act.
Yeah.
If your dex goes to 0, you can't act.
Gotcha. Yep, and your dexterity is reduced by 3 points because you're kind of blinded.
Okay, I got it.
And it's your guys' action. You're up next. You're up top, and those are Star Pulse. What Star Pulse guns do?
Those guns could do a lot of shit. They just mess me up.
Yep, and no one, and I don't think Metal, we've all Chrome, Professor Oaken, you haven't. Metal has encountered these before. I don't think we have figured out who is making them. And there's 2 types. There's really professional, like government-made, think tank, high tech. And then there's these other ones that have been popping up that look homemade, as in like a gadgeteer like the professor would have made. They work, but it's not like a mass-produced thing. You can tell that each one has been uniquely fashioned individually. That's the story behind Star Pulse guns.
I got it. Bro, I definitely wrote that down.
The homemade ones have only been seen in like small carbine sizes. The well-made manufactured ones have come in various sizes, even like a machine gun, like some
Well,
serious
it's a
super
lead.
power.
It's a lead because the homemade guys are getting the technology from the creator. Because they obviously
So
don't know the
Yep.
technology.
Well, they're getting it from. They're claiming retro. This person, they said retro, but yeah.
So there's 7 of them standing. I'm going to attack another 4 with a sweep
Metal
attack.
Oaken, what are you guys going to do?
Okay, initiative of 34. But I'm going to attack 4 of them with a sweep attack.
Okay,
Basically,
you guys have initiative. They
built for
can't.
that. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
crap. Roll of an
So you got a
8.
dex of 3.
Yep. So sweep attack against 4. I rolled an 8. I think that was. I'm
That's
not
not
sure
going to do it, is it?
Oh, I don't know. Acting value is 11. Sweep
Well,
attack. Give them 2 columns.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
let's
They
find
get
out.
one. They get 1 column.
You needed
Go
a
ahead, Jack.
4 or better, no modifiers. In their favor, 5. You needed a 5.
Okay.
Oaken, you're up. There's still 10 of them on their feet.
Still 10 of them on
You
their
got
feet.
4 down so far.
So what? I did hit or I did not hit with my 8?
Yep.
So I did. Okay, there should be 3 left.
Oh, you
in there.
did get an 8. You did hit. Sorry. I thought you,
Yeah.
for some reason, I thought you said a 3.
Nope, got an 8.
Okay, you needed a 7. You got an 8. Your effect value is enough to blast another 4 of them, around the room. Now we've got 8 down. Oaken?
Okay, I'll do the same thing. I'll go for another 4.
Should be only 3 left, unless there's more I knew about. Okay.
3.
Okay.
I'll do another 3 sonic.
Well,
blast.
Vlad, unless you want to separate him and keep him on his feet.
I mean, I was thinking about doing that now, which it probably could.
Never bring a gun to a ghost fight.
I think I'm going to. He said he got three thugs on their feet. I'm going to target the 3 thugs with another sonic blast.
And Vlad. Okay.
I'll just do the 3 thugs. I'll leave Vlad for now. Leave Vlad alone for now.
We're looking at. Yep. You got it.
Sonic blast.
If you roll a 9 or better, I don't have to figure anything out. If you roll a 9 or better, I don't have to figure anything out.
That's
You'll take them right
13.
out.
I rolled a 13. I rolled a 13.
That's a 13. Yeah, you blasted them, boom, against the wall. Their guns are, break, smash too, because it doesn't take much damage, because they're, it doesn't take much damage to break these things. And there's like Vlad just standing there like, holy shit, man.
Like I was saying, it doesn't work out.
Okay, you proved your point.
So I'm gonna continue talking to him like Naiad wasn't interrupted. Like I was telling you, all the big guns do not make anything better, and no one wants to be back in a war. And I want you to find your friend. What'd you say her name was? Retro. And I want you to explain to her.
Retro.
And I'd like you to explain to her.
Well,
What's that?
I've never actually met her. She's only.
Then where do the guns come from? Where do you get the
to her.
Star Pulse guns?
Oh, there are arrangements. We're told where we can get them, where we can pick them up.
I get the specifics of the arrangements, the where it was dropped off and all that. I also see if I can grab them.
Warehouses in North Elmview.
Okay. Is he
Just north of Elmview, where the St. Baltimore food kitchen is, and where the worst part of town is.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Nubian territory, basically.
You tell your friend, because she's your friend now, whether you like it or not, use whatever dead drop or skywriting you use. Tell her this is not going to work out in her favor. And I'm going to see if I can find a mostly working or a working Star Pulse gun to take the professor.
Good idea.
Easy enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at this point, Metal, I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna walk up to Vlad the Inhaler and probe his mind,
Nice.
and we'll get the truth out of him.
Okay, he's shitting his pants, but there's really not much he can do to resist
You
you.
know, but I got a flight, so I just kind of
Cool.
float in there next to Metal and put my hand on his face.
Yep. He's really frightened by this.
No Vulcan shit here.
No,
Vulcan's
but it
really
doesn't
frightening.
take
It's very
take long to plumb his mind and probe his mind. What he is saying is true. He has not ever met Retro. He's only spoken to her either, via cell phone or computer, email, text, but has never met face to face. Cash shows up in various bank accounts. That's he's been getting paid, and let's see. He really feels that, like, with this hookup, that they could move on the Nubians, and that Metal could be dealt with, because now that they get the hardware, that didn't pan out, obviously. They did shoot a couple of the Nubians. That is true. They didn't disappear. They did shoot them and dump the bodies in the river as in an attempt to intimidate Jimmy Mac.
So can we grab the
I think that's about
forensics, the email
title.
addresses, the dead drops, all of that?
From the Vlad's mind, yes. From the mind probe, yes.
So fine. I'm taking Vlad the Inhaler with me. Oaken, you can carry physical
what are you doing?
things, right?
What's
Oaken,
that?
What are you doing, man? You can't just
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Did you think I was the police? Did you think I was the UN? He's coming with me, and I'm
what
taking
the fuck
him.
are you doing? And he's squirming really hard, trying to get out of your grip.
Well, that's fine. I'll chain him up. I mean, that's not a big deal.
Why you just? I could do a mind drain and that will subdue him.
Oh no, I don't want him subdued. Oh
Okay.
no, don't want him subdued.
All right, I back off.
I'll meet you back in the loft in just a few minutes. Take the Star Pulse guns. Get these over to the professor. We've got some things to figure out.
I'll fly him over there right now.
I'm headed off to Nubian headquarters.
Professor, where are you? Did you let these guys know where you were doing this?
I thought he was at my loft. Was that an assumption?
I just locked myself in the room at wherever we were.
Oh, the man.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah. He's right there. He's
at
at the
the
loft.
base.
He easily found. Yeah, because you didn't want to go back to the FBEE and set up shop, right? You wanted to do this separate from the FBEE. You didn't want to involve them in this because that's the other place you could do it. They got a basketball court downstairs in the basement that's not being used.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
there in our headquarters?
I made all the rolls as if I didn't have a lab, so hopefully I can get access to one in the future.
Yeah, I mean the basketball court in the basement of the FBE isn't a lab. You would have to set it up. It just won't happen overnight. So Metal's loft is just as good at this point in the game.
I just locked myself in there to think about 12 things at the same time.
You got it. And then
Before I
appears.
go, I make sure every Star Pulse gun is destroyed. I make sure every one of those is wrecked.
Okay.
I do think we were hanging out at the Avery Mansion, weren't we? Because we had the prisoners in there, and is that not where we ended up last time?
I thought you guys ended up at Metal's loft, getting a pizza delivery and going over after battling everybody.
Well, it's 20-minute drive between them,
Yeah, the pizza delivery was before the last fight with Black Paladin, so that was when Professor disintegrated the loft door.
That's right.
Interesting. Okay, Professor, You're the final word on where you decide you want to work. You have choices.
At the lab.
I don't. Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought for some reason we left the mansion and went back to Metals. What was going on at the mansion after the big fight? For some reason, I thought we left it. But I may be misremembering.
I was in talking to Ruin Star trying to convince her to go straight. That's the last thing I remember.
That conversation. Okay. Well, her pitch is, yeah, she'd happily join you guys if she's just looking for a small kingdom, you know, something a few leagues west. She hears there's mountains and forested hills. That's familiar. That would be a suitable domain for her.
Well, let's put a pin in that.
And she is, and if it comes about, would be baffled that you wouldn't use your powers to, you know, claim your domain, your power. But so that's more confusing her than just like she's pure evil. It's like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
You use not your strength when you can? She's having a hard time taking you seriously. So
Well, wherever we were setting up shop and had downtime, that's where I locked myself up. So
okay. It's definitely
I don't know,
interesting things.
where I am at this point.
Well, there's some considerations I think you should make. One, the Avery Mansion, it's clearly, now that you've been in it enough, it is larger on the inside than it actually is. There's more rooms than can fit when you stand outside and look at this thing.
I think that's
clearly unscientific. Get your head around that shit. So, do you still, I mean, this is just information you need to have, Professor.
Well, I hang out in the undead mansion, but I'll meet you at Metal's loft because he has a lab already set up. Wherever you are, wherever I found you, we're going to get these Star Pulse gun parts to Metal's lab so you can start working on them.
So Metal has a lab?
No, she's got a loft.
No, I'm a smuggler. I modify phones. I don't have a lot going on.
Oh, but actually, you got warehouse space up the wazoo, don't you, Metal? Am I mistaken?
We've occasionally had. I've never had a shortage of space. We've had warehouse space.
I read your background. It means you're wealthy. You got space somewhere. You got some Tony Stark shit going on somewhere.
That wealthy, I'm not. I'm working on it. It's shaking down the government takes a while. It is so hard to make money by shaking down the government. I'm working on it. But yeah, there's space. Anyway, so without losing an hour on where he's working, pick a spot and let's just call it that.
The Avery Mansion got plenty of room. But you'd have to build a lab.
How did that all end then? The Avery Mansion. I remember the big battle and everything. For some reason, I thought we had to leave. Is the mansion still there? Did it implode? Is it a crater? Did we just say, "Hey, it's all clear now. We can stay"?
Right. You imprisoned the two bad guys, and then we had other business to take on and take care of.
I think it should be our headquarters.
Yeah, Zekula fled, and when she fled, the illusion and the magical force around the mansion came down, disappeared. The demon horse vanished as well, but the Black Paladin and Ruin Star were out cold, and you guys threw them in the mystical prison room. And that's where we left that scene. Then there was going to talk to Jimmy Mack in the hospital, and then ending up at the loft eating pizza. No?
Okay. Did we leave anybody behind at the mansion, as a curator, or is it just empty?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I knew we were back.
Empty.
So
yeah, there was. What was there?
Well, I thought Professor Stone was still at the mansion. He'd like the curator or something in the housekeeper.
No,
The
Professor Stone.
librarian, the housekeeper went home. The librarian went back to the library, back to Capital City, and the Professor John Black is nowhere to be found.
Okay, last I remember, I thought we were all at metals, and that's where I'm assuming I locked myself up, and I've been tinkering for the last day and a half.
All right, that's where I'll find you.
And Oaken comes floating in like a ghost, as he is, not like a ghost, as a ghost, and drops off this homemade high-tech weapon. Looks like a carbine sized, with a strange power source. Looks like the power source is a splinter of a purple crystal, and it's just encased in something, and it radiates energy, and the pistol, that's what's powering it. And it's an energy device. It doesn't shoot slugs or projectiles. It shoots a beam of energy.
Professor, I brought this for you. I need you to analyze it. See how figure out how it works. See if we can find a make or model and a way to trace its manufacturer.
This thing is, you can recognize, Professor. It's much like your ray gun. It's a one of a kind. This is something that was handmade and not mass produced.
I'm going to the kitchen to get me a game.
Identify gadget. Will it, if I roll to get any information from it, or is it just pretty much everything you just said?
Yeah, that's. I'm just giving you the valuable information about it. Yes, this is what you can see. Is there anything more that you are interested in that you would like to probe deeper? You would have to switch gears to what you're doing, because this would be what? Research, identify object.
Yeah. What's
It's like under gadgeteer, isn't it?
Identify gadget.
Yeah. So
the only reason why I would care is I have two competing characteristic things going on here. One, superiority complex. So in a way, I'm wanting to just look at it and go, yeah, this is very rudimentary. I don't care, and toss it aside. But I also have an irrational attraction to seeking out higher intelligence. So if it looks like this thing was designed by somebody as smart as me or higher, I may want to find them. So those two things are conflicting in my head.
Yes, they are. That is a true statement. Because it is all that. It has those features. Yes, you are in the middle of that conflict.
But my gadgetry is only 6, so if I don't pick up any information saying that the person who built it was of some kind of supreme intelligence, then I'll go back to not caring.
Well,
the gadgetry will be going up in the future. The actual gadgetry skill is not as high as my actual intelligence yet.
What's your intelligence?
11.
11. Oh my gosh! You are a smart son of a gun.
11.
Whoever made this has got something on you. They're definitely operating at a level that you have not reached. It is definitely yeah. Whoever made this is better than you.
Yeah, they're like professor divided by a square root professor.
And roll my irrational attraction.
Not light years, just maddeningly ahead.
How close am I to being done with my day and a half of tinkering?
Let's say it's late afternoon. It's
Is he thinking or did he freeze?
I think you froze.
there's a lot of freezing going on. There's a lot of freezing. Have I unfroze yet?
You have.
Yeah. Yes, we can see you now.
I'm just gonna call it 4 in the afternoon.
So I'll roll my rational attraction to see if I'm distracted from what I'm doing. Hopefully, I can just ignore this and keep going.
Yeah. What do you think? Well, anytime you roll a 15 or better, that's definitely a success without crunching numbers on a question like this.
My rational attraction is 5+. So as long as I don't roll a 2, 3, or 4, I should be okay to just keep doing. It's real slight.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 5
Fair enough.
plus
That's
roll.
a good call. Okay.
13, so I passed it. So I may get back to that later, but I'm kind of busy right now.
Yeah. Okay, so you can drive home on your project. Chrome, let's get some action with you. I think I just need, let's find out what kind of result your efforts have. Let's roll a persuasion check. You're going against, let's just say right now it's just neutral, right? Your reputation or co-eds in general have a neutral opinion about Chrome at this point. That sounds like a good place to start, right? I know Chrome is still muted, but I'm just carrying the conversation, hoping he jumps in soon. But that looks like a good way of doing it. So it's going to be his influence versus co-eds, which is going to be 2. So whatever his influence versus 2.
Well,
That's what he needs to roll or better to have a successful outcome. Chrome, did you follow all that?
No, sorry.
Too.
Okay. I want to switch back to you.
Okay.
You're doing your campaign, basically increase your reputation as a local hero amongst the college crowds in the various colleges in the city, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I'm calling that a persuasion.
Basically, the idea is local hero shows up at parties.
Okay. In a day and a half, that's okay. All right. Things aren't going to start when swing until at least noontime, no? But anyways, I'm giving you, we're going to start a persuasion check. Your target is a neutral, so there's no modifiers, plus or minus. What's your influence attribute?
4.
4. The
attractive
average co-ed.
And yes, and I also have attractive.
So how many column shifts should that give you?
It's 1 column.
Just 1? Oh, okay. So yeah, with the average co-ed having an influence of 1 or 2, roll a 7 or better for really great results.
I got a 12.
Good.
12. Great. You find some frat parties. There's also what the hell? There's even a little art festival going on one campus. One college you stop at. They want to.
I'm sure
the college radio wants to get you on you're on the radio. Like Asking what
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like. How do you
I'm sure
balance the college life with being a superhero?
yeah, I'm sure
Aren't
I'm
you
trending.
afraid that people, know who you are? Yeah, you're trending pretty hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you rolled a 12, so it's only going to be for today. But mission accomplished.
All right.
It's really when you want to call it off. Do you want to stop What time do you want to stop partying?
Well, unless I hear from the gang, that they need me or something, I'll probably, spend the day. So, um, I guess it's up to them whenever they call me and say, "Hey, we need you to come back."
Okay.
And I'll check in with him. Of course, I got Metal's number, so I'll check in every so often as I'm, drifting from one party to another just to see how things are going and see if they need me.
Great. Um, so you guys can discuss what you think you want to do next, and I'm going to go get. I need some water. I got to go get some water. So
Okay.
we'll take a 5-minute break so we can get refreshments, and we'll dive back in. Sound cool?
10-4.
Metal, when did you say we were going to go after the snuff film crew?
So I've got to take care of the vampire problem in the middle of. After that, we only have some geography. We know where the snuff crew was seen, and it's in Oakview. It's a real rough part of town. It's going to be some trolling, some investigating, all of that. But as soon as I get finished this, you get finished that. Let's go after it. We can't leave people to be snuffed.
Yeah, no. Just like I'm not much for investigating, but if you need me to crack some heads, that I can handle that.
Well, the problem is, it looks like the gang problem is about to boil over again. And anytime we run into violence, it's going to be an ocean of it. Which means no one's going to take a punch at me. They're going to try and run me over with an entire biker gang.
Well, I'm pretty much bulletproof, so I'm happy to take that fight too.
Right on. And we don't know who these people are yet. We don't know who's doing snuff films or why. If it's just gangsters, it's just gangsters. And they can be taught a lesson relatively easily. We've run into so many demons and cyborgs, superhumans, and one or two gods. I don't like to take that for granted.
They might be snuffing them with Star Pulse rifles. Star Pulse guns.
Oh, I hate Star Pulse guns.
If they're snuffing them with them, there's a connection.
Yep. So the Star Pulse guns were originally attached to a villain named Big Boss Man. He was a giant at Capital Point Casino, but we don't know where the technology came from. Some of it goes back to Ponsville and the whole thing where superpowers come from. They seem to have one little piece of everything. We've never figured them out.
That's what the professor got to figure out. Where's this technology come from? Who's making it? Is it off-world? Is it on-world? Because they do one shot did 3 different things to me. It did dexterity, body, and mind in one shot.
Yeah, I've watched him flatten some of the toughest players I've ever seen.
And I had my dispersal on my defense on full, and I still got knocked down 3 points in like knocked down 3 in dexterity, body, and mind. So,
Wait, are you telling me they shot you in the mind?
yeah, the Star Pulse does 3 different things.
It affects the optic nerve itself. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does body damage, and it does
Like to
mind
your
damage.
car, or
And they did that to me while I was in ghost form. So Mystic.
By the way, I enjoyed the example last night about whether or not my mother was hit by a dump truck or by Colossus. That got funny. I was actually out doing my run, and I'm laughing while I'm out running.
Combat is over, so I can raise my attributes back up, right? Get rid of them. Or do I got to keep them till the end? I got to keep it like that till the end of the session.
Depends on what kind of damage it is, but if it's just normal combat damage, you get a recovery. What is it, every hour?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get a recovery you can make a recovery check every hour to
Okay.
heal some of it. Now, if it's killing damage, you only get one every day, every 24 hours.
Yeah. No, the Star Pulse guns, they don't do killing damage.
At least
Well,
not yet.
they didn't do. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if they're capable or not. I mean, most things can, but it's all dependent on how you want to use it.
From the hit I took from them, they wear you down. They took out my dexterity, took out my body, and took out my mind. So they wear you down to where you could be very vulnerable if combat went on too long.
At one point in the casino, they had versions of those guns that were crew-served artillery.
I'm sorry,
I
what
don't
was
know
that?
if it's just me. At one point during the battle at the casino, they had Star Pulse guns that were so big they were crew-served artillery.
Hmm.
There was nothing that they wouldn't drop out of the sky.
So don't
Mike.
get shot. Got it.
Mike,
So if you could make that, why would you make this? That suggests two different manufacturers.
Right.
quick question about skill usage. Some skills are usable only if you have the skill. Others you can use unskilled, but what's the penalty?
2 columns.
2 column shifts?
Yep. Unless the skill explicitly lists different, it's 2 columns.
Okay, well then here's my question when it comes to identify gadget, because it has unskilled use. Is my intelligence of 11 with 2 column shifts better than using gadgetry of 5? And can I opt to do that even though I have gadgetry?
Yes.
Or could you
need
use
7.
hero points to
Yes.
enhance that
Yes.
column?
But the answer to the professor's question is yes. You can choose to use your intelligence.
And you'd be in the 7-8 range.
In an unskilled way, taking 2 column shifts. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you put
So-
hero points on that?
Now I got to figure out the opposing value, right?
And the opposing value is the highest APs of any of its abilities.
8.
Yeah, gadget's highest AP value as OV and RV.
Yep, you would be going against an 8. It would get 2 column shifts.
$11 to $8 with 2 column shift penalty.
Column shifts. You need a 15 or better.
Right. With
So,
hero
Jay,
points,
if he has
you can
11,
roll
if he has 11 intelligence, he takes 2 columns down. That's going to take him to 7-8. If the gadget's also an 8, he should be able to succeed in an 11.
Oh, you're right. Okay. I was doing too many column shifts.
All good. As
And
you
what
can
are
all
you
tell, I've
looking?
spent
What are
way
you
too many hours
looking to
today.
uncover? What are you looking to uncover, Professor? What is the question you're trying to answer?
Well, again, I didn't want to change my focus until after I was done with my crown. But
Okay.
when I look at it, they were wondering, is it alien? Is it earthly? Is it, any kind of information I can get? Is it where it was built? What kind of person built it?
Everything's earthly except that everything. It's all available materials that you could get. They're all earthly except for that sliver of crystal, purple crystal. That's not terrestrial. That came from somewhere else.
It's the crawl, the damn crawl again.
Power Stone.
Metal, you can identify that as what? You guys have seen this. These crystal shards are
They're from the meteor.
used used in anything related to like star pulse. The Congress of Truth was using these little crystals a lot with making force fields and stuff for their soldiers, and using it to conduct experiments to create enhanced entities.
Have they appeared in ancient history, something I may have seen in the past?
No, it's not. It's not a cult in nature. It's not a cult in nature. Where it's been seen, where it's come from, is Ponsville Mine, in those secret facilities beneath the old mine town that's now occupied by the army with a cleanup crew.
Ponsville sounds like a destination. You've done well, Professor. By the way, I'm still rating your refrigerator metal.
Good.
Yeah, you're slightly disappointed nothing has taste or flavor.
Yeah.
You can drink a lot of.
I'm in my solid form now.
Let me know when I have the focus. I want to finish up the big gangster business.
Is that why all pizza tastes like Little Caesars to me?
That is why, yes.
Yeah.
How do you want to finish this gangster shit?
I'm going to fly over to the Nubian headquarters with my friend Vlad the Inhaler. And I'm going to ask them to get their boss on the phone, who I think is still in the hospital.
I'm going with metal.
Okay.
You dropped
Jimmy Matt.
Yep.
Unless you don't want me to.
But Jimmy Mack, yeah, you can get him on the phone. He's in the hospital bed.
Yeah, I would like his guys to call him like while I'm there.
Yes, they do. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
And I'm like, hey, I want you guys to meet the guy who's been running the vampires. And
Yeah. They know
not,
Vlad the Inhaler.
Yeah, that's him. Although he's currently not in a position to resist you, I'm certainly not going to let you put a bullet in him. But he's come to negotiate. He really doesn't want to negotiate. But he's not in any position to argue. So what is it he was trying to do to your territory? What is it that we were trying to do? How can we just talk our way through this that nobody has to get shot? And he owes you.
Well, that's what I told you, Metal, says Jimmy Mack. Without guns, I'm going to get shot. I can't stop people from not shooting.
I can stop them from shooting.
My authority.
Sure, and he's here because he respects your authority, or me, one or the other. And if you can come to an accord, great. He should now understand he needs to deal with you, and there's no other choice. Don't you understand that, Mr. Vlad?
Yeah. Whatever you say. Yeah. That's it. He doesn't seem very sincere.
So here's the thing. I just took about 12 of his guys out. Might have been 15. It's hard to tell. I brought a ghost because somehow I got a ghost. And we smashed all the toys. And I'll smash him again. And if this guy is a dick to you, I'm just going to leave him here with you. And then you figure out what to do next. And if he's willing to have a reasonable conversation with you, I'm going to fly him out of here at the end of the day. But that's up to our friend Vlad.
Okay, and this is intimidating enough to Vlad. Vlad
Yes.
is like, look, I don't want to die, or type of thing. You know, he's like, whatever, we'll stay out of your turf. There's plenty of other places to go. I don't need this shitty place anyways. Elmview, North Elmview, it's shit. It makes Forsyth look like a paradise, like La Jolla. You guys can have it. You guys can have your shithole. It's all yours.
So, very nice. That's good. And I need you to deliver that message. I need you to say anyone that thinks that they're going to get those Tinker Toy Star Pulse guns or mutants or their favorite alien, the best thing that's going to happen is what's happening to you right now. Do you want to know what the worst thing would be?
Yeah, I got a pretty good idea. Probably has something to do with the Stewart River.
Yeah. So I tell Jimmy Mac's guys where the tire shop is. That's yours now. That's yours now.
What?
And
Vlad's like all pissy for a moment. Like
this is our friend Vlad's way of apologizing to you, isn't it? Isn't this our friend Vlad's way of apologizing?
What do you guys know about running a bunch of crackheads?
You know, you realize the easiest thing for me to do is just leave you here
doing
and
a good thing
that you've done wrong. I could also drop you halfway there, or you can let them know how that's now their tire shop as an apology. What do you think is the best answer?
I think you guys got yourself a tire shop, and you're gonna hate it.
Jimmy, how do you feel about his apology?
Good luck. And how does Jimmy Mac feel about his apology? Well, let's let the dice decide. I'll roll, and 11 or better, he thinks everything's hunky dory. If it's less than that, he doesn't think Vlad's seeing reason. You got a 12. Apology accepted.
And I'll make sure that anybody gets the message that apologies for violence come in the form of real estate, because that's what they seem to understand. Territory. If you break my ban on violence, it costs you in buildings. Do we all understand each other now?
Yeah, but be interesting to see how this retro reacts to you.
Well,
You
that's
metal.
my problem. Okay. And I drop him off, I don't know, at the same 7-Eleven that was not hit by the dump truck a couple of game sessions ago.
It's way out in the suburbs.
Right.
This is them off right and royal. Yeah. Now I gotta take the metro back into town. You guys suck.
I'm sorry, you'd rather have me take you back to the boxcars there? Do you know how close you are to dying? Are you aware my own ethics on violence are the only things saving your life right now?
Well, really, all I know is I need a goddamn fix, and it's gonna be hard to figure where source one out here. I don't know anybody out here.
All right, I'll
That's
fix
really
it.
the problem.
I can fix it with a mind probe. See what they really know.
So I leave them off and let's hope they're okay for the moment, and we're going to have to get back to retro. But I think we've solved the immediate problem.
Yep. Vlad's not interested in solving his drug addiction problem. He's just interested in finding drugs. He thanks you for your offer, but he's trying to rehab. The whole sober thing he's really not into. So you guys leave him in the suburbs. Sorry. Next. Where are we headed next, gentlemen?
We can go see what the professor found out. See if we got any new stuff.
I was going to say, next I want to circle everyone up and go after whoever's making the snuff films.
Okay. When is that happening? That's happening. Word on the street, August 1st, which is Saturday. It is now Friday, right? That's when you were done Friday afternoon, Professor?
Damn.
And
Professor?
so, yeah. So Saturday night, it's Friday. Professor's all done, and the film is not expected to be. That's not going down word on the street until Saturday night.
Well, as soon as I'm done tinkering, when I come out, I'm calling a team meeting because we need to talk about stuff.
Team meeting, guys. I love team meetings.
All right. So this is at Metal's apartment?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
the loft.
Got a little notebook, and I'm still sketching in it as I'm walking out the door. I got my crown on my head. Flip the notebook closed, put it in my pocket. One, Oaken, this gun that you just came in here and gave me, where did you get this?
We get it from Vlad the Inhaler at his tire chop shop.
Yeah, gangster. How does a gangster get something like that?
The vampire gang was had like 20 of them.
Metal's drug gangs are using super high-tech gadgetry.
Yep.
That's interesting.
This
is all kind of rudimentary. I'm not real impressed by it, but I don't know where this power source came from.
That's what we need to find out.
Ugh. Pawnsville.
We need a.
So if you look at the story of superhumans in this world, everything comes from exposure to a meteorite that fell almost 25 years ago. We've got a ton of information on it. And
so this power source is extraterrestrial?
It's from a meteorite.
I didn't get my powers from getting hit by a meteorite. I took an injection.
Sure. And I was a high-risk pregnancy, and my mother was subjected to drugs made from, amongst other things, this meteorite, which is where my powers came from. When you look at where the drugs came from that gave you your powers, you're going to find that this meteorite, the radiation from it, the fragments of it, some extract, they're involved somewhere. They always are.
Oh my gosh.
Any of you want to hold on to this, or can I just keep it for a little bit?
I do not.
Well, here's the interesting thing, Professor.
Put it in your gun.
Why it's in its little whatever container
capsule.
It doesn't weigh that much, but as soon as you take it out, as soon as you break it out of its little stasis thing, and you can get it back, whatever, it has a tremendous mass. That is surprising for this fine sliver.
But it's in the capsule. I can still manhandle it.
Yeah. When you hold it in a capsule, it doesn't have the weight it does when it's out of it.
Okay, I just put it in my pocket.
Professor, how does your gun work? Can you adapt it to put it in your gun?
I have no idea. I'm not even thinking about that kind of stuff right now. But it's interesting that you brought that up. This is what I want to talk to you all about. If we've only known each other for a couple of days, I just met Metal, and then right after I met Metal, Chrome shows up, and then right after Chrome shows up, Oaken shows up. We're just complete strangers to Metal. Really, it's only been a couple of days. Are we going to continue working together? Is this a team thing now? You're muted, Metal.
Of course it's a team thing.
It's a crazy town. We live a crazy life. And what else did you have to do?
Well, when I met you, the FBEE, forgot the names already, just told me to hang out with you. So I don't know about the other two. I've got nowhere else to go. And I'm interested in finding stuff like this. And I pull out the little blue thing, put it back. So yeah, I'm all good. I got no problems. What I was thinking about, amongst 12 other things, while I was working on some stuff, is the fact that Chrome rolled up. He just sped up at the campus to see me shooting the air elemental, and then she disappeared. And I'm afraid people are getting the wrong idea of what kind of stuff is happening.
So what's your plan?
So, have you ever seen the videos where they show the police officers are forced to tase each other so they know what it feels like?
If
I
you
start
shoot me
reaching
with
for
that-
the
If you shoot me
disruptor.
with that thing, I'm stuffing it up your butt.
I'll take a hit. Test it on me.
No, you'll be.
I'll
Look,
be
I just want to prove to you that I did not kill that woman. Let's all shoot each other so you can see what this does. It will not hurt you, I promise.
No, that's insane, because if you're lying to me, it will hurt me. And if you're telling the truth, I can believe you anyway. So there's no value to doing so.
I'm so positive that this. I said, everybody, you can shoot me too.
Here, give me it. I'll shoot you.
So who's gonna go first? And I start like randomly picking one of you three.
I put up the
no,
force shield.
You go.
No
you
shooting.
go first.
No
I'll
shooting.
fly up. I'll fly up in front of you and say, "Give me your best shot." I'll take one. I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm nervous because of the shit Jay did in the past.
It has a really, really
Look, Chrome.
surprising effect on magic creatures and creatures of magic.
I turned around and pointed handle first to Chrome. Here, you can shoot me first. We'll all take turns.
All right, I shoot him.
No, when you reach for it, you see me kind of hesitantly, like almost not giving it to you. I'm 100% confident.
No. I take it out of your hand and I give you a shot.
The problem with being 100% confident, but at the same time, he has uncertainty. So Chrome can shoot me.
Yep.
Yes, Chrome can shoot you and display in the effect of your ray gun is displayed.
Go ahead and roll it and see what happens. See the effect.
What am I rolling? Reliability or?
Well, I'm just standing there point blank, so I assume you hit me.
Yeah.
Roll. Yeah. You have to roll to make sure the reliability works.
I guess
so
we don't need to
ones.
roll anything, do we?
Yeah, don't roll double ones. I don't.
Okay.
I got a 12.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
the
So
AB of 8,
the repairs were successful.
the AB of 8 versus my spirit of 3 is what?
8 versus a spirit of 3. 4 total.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I go unconscious, and then you just see me laying there. And in 1 minute, I bounce back up.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's not injured.
I'm assuming the regeneration, the recovery roll is in a minute. I am assuming I made it for the display.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I rolled a 19. I bounced back up. There's no problem. I'm full power. See?
It knocked you out for 1 minute or 4 minutes?
Well, my regenerations went up, so it's 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Regeneration is 6. So what's 10 APs minus 6 APs is 4 APs. That's 1 minute, right?
Correct.
Okay.
There you go. Boom.
See?
What do you think of that, Chrome?
I didn't disappear. Everything's fine.
if we're done playing Russian roulette, I had this
That'd be-
other idea that somebody, I don't know, popular who's an ex-sporting figure might help us with. The feds don't like me with good reason. The gangs mostly do like me with good reason, which is not something that I want to broadcast.
But
I do have some
a
decent
quick question.
contact. What's that?
Why did I just have to shoot you, Professor?
Did I explode? Did I disappear? Did I disintegrate? Did I kill myself? I just wanted you to experience it, to know that I'm not going around disintegrating people, no matter what you think you saw.
But I saw you blow up a rock with this thing.
I don't know what happened with that rock.
Well, you
I was just,
shot it and it exploded. That's what happened.
and this is the point of this exercise. You've seen a lot of things, and I don't believe that you're seeing all reality. I don't want you to assume things.
There was one unusual circumstance about the rock, is that it was sitting on top of a magic sword.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, that was a thing that I can't really explain. So I know,
So
I know.
Sure yeah.
You said that, but I just don't. But I'm saying Chrome is witnessing things that are not explainable. So I don't want him to think that I'm doing that.
I don't know. I just figured your blaster was a blaster.
No, this is to go kind of a private person. I'm not going to go terribly into my background, but the entire reason this was invented, and I pull it off. Believe it or not, I have found a way to tap into the life force. I can bring people back from dead. Metal has witnessed me raising a college student who was dead in the classroom. This is what I've discovered. When I reverse the energies to put into this gun, I don't want to kill somebody. I don't want to kill somebody, so I've purposely made it to where I've governed it to where I will just, like a taser almost, I'm just trying to drain them enough to make them go out. That's what you just witnessed. I did not die.
But you're wearing the crown that you said brings people back from the dead, so you could have died and you would have got back up.
And you seem to,
so you're saying Chrome, you get to shoot him again, Chrome? Now this time without the crown, I get to shoot you again.
It may take me longer
I'm not
to
wearing
come.
the crown, so he's not shooting me.
But if that's the case, I can put it on you and bring you back. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But that's not the case. What you've witnessed is things blowing up and people disappearing. I'm telling you that I did not do that.
So somebody else shot the elemental chick.
No, I shot her. I cannot explain what happened.
Magic sucks. Professor, here's the thing. I had a friend that just lost 2 of the guys off his team today that was shot by some asshole over the cost of, I don't even know what they're smuggling. People die every day in this city. We try to keep it from happening. If you shot Donna and she's dead, she was out of control and I was trying to save her. If you shot her and she's accidentally dead, because I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer that killed my friend Donna. And if it malfunctioned, shit happens. And if it was supposed to work that way, shit happens. But man, I don't understand the tech gun. I only understand when you're trying to do the right thing. And I think you've been trying to do the right thing with wacky tech.
Yes, I'm not going to purposely kill anybody. And even if I accidentally kill somebody, I'll do what I can in my power to bring them back. Do I get my gun back?
Yeah,
Chrome?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
When
I'm
Chrome
telling you,
hands
don't
me,
shoot me. Don't shoot me with it.
okay.
So I go into the bedroom, one of those hidden places I have, and I get the good Star Pulse gun that I took at the back at the end of Capitol Point, and I give the professor the well-made, well-manufactured one. This is the finished product. The people that were making these are gone now, but they were making these a year ago.
The
I
key
trust you
difference
to try and do the
between
right thing. What's that?
I was going to say the key difference because of the professor's intellect, besides what I've described so far between the two Star Pulse guns, because I did forget that Metal did have a whatever, the one from, the well-made manufactured one, is that while the homemade one has a very small sliver of crystal, like it's been lased, to try to get the most out of a piece that you could get, the presence of the crystal and its energy is more present. It's weaved into the construction of like the battery source. It's actually, if you would, more like somehow that it's been broken down into a battery or almost liquid, and it's in part of the wiring of it, and it's really imbued with almost like it's using it as a hydraulic fluid in it. A further distillation that the homemade one can't get to. It really looks a little similar to what goes on with Chrome, except for the color.
So like that one can't be removed, but the homemade ones can be removed.
And
Mhm.
the manufacturing, it's not coming off as alien technology. It's the same thing. It's something from that I would deem earthly, other than the source.
Yes, 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 yep, yep,
So we just
yep.
some friends of
You
mine
can't
destroyed the
obviously at a glance. No, go ahead. Sorry, but
No.
it's mass produced, machined with a high degree of fidelity.
So some friends of mine destroyed the factory where that one was made. It was in an Indian casino south of here a while back, but they keep coming back no matter what we do. Professor, my point is this: please, I believe in your heart, and if you use your tech to do it, everything you've done since the minute I met you is trying to save people. If the tech malfunctions, if there's magic, if there's alien rays you haven't thought of, I mostly don't care, because you're trying to do what's right. That's what I care about.
Okay, we'll just have to take my word for it. But I'm telling you, you'll be fine. I just wanted you to experience it to know what I'm doing isn't causing pain or hurting people. I put the gun up, fight the urge to shoot Chrome in the back,
No,
Wait, what?
just to prove a point.
Chrome. Oaken's drinking all the beer in Nell's fridge.
No, I finished that. I got out of the shower. I'm combing my hair and doing my nails now, wondering what the heck you guys are doing.
So Chrome, have you considered a career in modeling? More specifically, spokes modeling?
I'll do the endorsements and stuff after I'm a famous superhero.
Well, that's the point. The professor made a good point that this has all been really crazy, really fast. There's been bodies and destruction.
Yeah.
We need someone who stands up in front of the meeting and talks about how we're the good guys here.
We got to use Chrome. He's the best looking.
And he likes cameras.
And he's on, and everybody knows him.
Well, I'm working on it. I'm still new to this hero thing, but I like it.
Well, I'm less
Well,
new to it, which is why it can't be me. And do you want to make the professor your spokesman?
Okay, guess not. He just asked people to shoot him.
And then we have a dead guy.
Hey guys, when we going to Ponsville Mine, anyways? I want to see what the hell's going on there.
Ponsville. Oh God.
I just finished doing laundry. What the hell? I'm in my best clothes.
Uh-huh.
I got a full
Metal
belly.
has been to Ponsville and brought a bunch of documents and computer files back to Bisbee Sharp at the FBEE.
Well, maybe Professor
And-
needs to peruse those said files.
Are we not still trying to figure out where this snuff film is going to take place? Because it seems like that should be the next thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I somehow
Yeah,
don't think
you-
we're going to get like a warning on the police band, snuff film in progress. So we
No,
probably
you're
ought to
not.
figure out when it's going to, or where it's going to go down before it happens.
Right.
exactly.
So I want to go down, do
You-
some detective stuff, bring my ghost to the mind probe, that stuff.
well, Vlad doesn't know. I mean, actually, who do you want to mind probe? Because you
I want to
actually
go
have
down.
a
We said there's a
really
certain part of the world where we knew it was happening, where they were recruiting actors, all of that. I want to go down to that. What was it? Whatever the street was. It wasn't Vine Street.
Stewart River?
red wine street, the strip.
Right.
Yeah, the red light district.
We just need to find some low life producers and have Oaken do the demon horse thing on him, and see what he's got in his head.
There you go. That's
I
a
like
winner
it.
right there, right? I mean, Metal, you'd know at least who the king of pornography is in on the strip and in Capital City. Let me grab
Okay,
the
and
book.
why exactly does Metal know who the number one pornographer is in this town?
Because he got history.
Because
Well,
it's
it's not hard. It's not unknown information to the average derelict on the street.
Okay.
It's a common knowledge city. If you've lived in the city for a while, you know who is the king of pornography and cranks out more porn in Capital City than this guy. And I'm going to grab the book so I can tell you all who it is.
Yeah, we've got like 4 scattered plots this adventure, so everything's a little bit off.
Well, while we're looking through our books and doing some research, I think we should come up with a name for our team.
What name would you suggest?
Actually, I haven't thought of one, so that's why I brought it forth.
Well, there's 4 of us, so we could be quartet.
How about the Fantastic Four? Oh, wait, that's taken.
Yeah, exactly.
Capital City, I don't know.
Well, the
start
first not
randomizing.
you, but Metal.
What was that, Jay?
I was just saying the some of the adventures that Metal. Not you guys have been local, but they have been to space. Metal's been to space.
It wasn't fun. Don't go to space.
How about the Silver Strikers? Too generic.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried to come up with a super team name in a while.
Well, usually when I
Smart
call my
guys?
names, I just start randomizing letters and phrases. That's how I come up with stuff.
Professor, your
Ernest
super
King
team name
Cole.
suggestion? What's that?
No, if the professor has a super team suggestion, the fearsome 4, frightening 4. Go ahead, Professor. Do you got a name suggestion?
The professor and the rest.
winner.
What'd you say?
Not going to happen, I don't think. You said the professor and the rest.
Oh.
Here on Gilligan's Island.
That's just a
That's why I said there's a winner. That's clever, man. Thanks for displaying wit. Ernest King
Well,
Cole.
technically, from that callback, the professor was and the rest. He wasn't mentioned originally in the song.
That's right. It was the later version. Of
Yeah, he was the rest. You're right. It was the movie star and the rest, which is what? The old couple.
No, the professor and Mary Ann.
Oh, really? Was
the professor and Mary Ann were the rest.
Oh.
Gilligan, the skipper, to the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, and the rest.
Very good. Yeah. These distinctions.
Mary Ann was the best anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. Okay, yeah. Ernest King Cole is the largest pornography publishing house, magazine titles, film studios, websites. Starting with one store on the Strip, the Emporium, Cole built what one industry expert has described as the Microsoft of porn. He no longer lives in the city, preferring his enormous mansion.
What happens in capital cities stays in capital cities.
I was going to say, it seems strange to say this, but this guy sounds like a legit porn maker as opposed to the illicit porn makers.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, good distinction. That's true. He's legit. Well, your easy access is, your street contacts, the Nubians. North Elmview and Elmview is their turf, for one. So they do know a lot of the action. Jimmy Mack got the tip.
Just the tip.
Yeah, but he can give a general, where, this stuff used to happen. Right?
All right.
But so I think his gang of hood rats would be a good source of sussing that out, is what I think. Is that sound
Hey, team, let me take you to meet the dangerous street gang.
I'm in.
Hogan's not afraid of much.
Well, he is dead, or she.
Undead.
And it's like, waiting on a drug deal or something like that. It takes some hours, but they can come in with the information under the wire.
So yeah, I think this is a great time to introduce the current team to Jimmy Mack's crew. And I explained to them that I had to back a horse. And these guys managed to put aside the big guns and the worst of the violence. And yeah, we made them some money because of it. But they're also the reason I managed to keep a thumb on the violence and keep down the street deaths. So we deal with them. And when we need information about terrible things, we have some terrible people on the payroll.
Ultra Rosa was also good for
great,
information like that. But okay, sorry. But she's been incommunicado for weeks.
Yeah, I'll introduce you to Rosa when we absolutely have to. Chrome, I hear you that it's morally gray. It's capital city. It's a morally gray place. And if you don't like my street gang, you don't have to be involved in this. But I'm literally trying to keep someone from murdering prostitutes.
Yeah.
Or even worse, college students kidnapped off the street. Go ahead, Tom.
And here's some of the key information is that the production crew is Portuguese.
Oh, can't trust them.
Yeah, I can't speak that either.
So, for whatever reason, that means like Portuguese gangsters are doing this. But, you know, not a lot of people speak Portuguese.
Well,
At
Brazilians
least it's not the
That's
Russians.
another way they track it down. It's like, yes, it's not the Russians. No. No one's filled the void of the Russians right now. They must be just fighting amongst themselves.
As long as street scumbags
Now
want to
that-
kill just each other, I'm fine with it.
The Russians are
Because
busy with
what?
the Ukraine.
Endgame and Malenko were the two bosses gone in succession. So I don't know if the one hasn't surfaced yet. The mafia is still doing mafia.
I don't mean this to say like. I don't mean to say this like I'm a pawn or something, but as far as I'm concerned, Metal is our leader, and if that's what we're focused on right now, I'm just following her wherever she goes.
Well, we're in a meeting right now, and I second your motion to appoint Metal as our leader.
Oh God, no, don't want that. No.
Yeah.
Well, we need
I didn't know.
It's obviously you because you have the history.
Yeah.
And I came up with a couple of. In the meantime, I came up with a couple of names for our group.
Agent,
The first one I came up with is Freedom Effect.
Freedom what now?
Freedom Effect.
Freedom effect.
And the other one I came up with is Legion Knights.
I've heard worse. I have definitely heard worse.
Well,
The last time I named a super group, they became the New Inheritors, and nobody liked that. So
Well, that's oh, sorry.
Or we could be Freedom Knights or Legion Effect. You can cross the room. You can cross multiply the words.
how about those people like John?
Yeah.
How about what do they call them? John Steed and Emma Peel. You remember them, the Avengers?
The Avengers, yep, but that's already taken.
Oh, that one's taken too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to
color
accept
now.
it. You guys can't call it.
hey,
You know, it fits. It's always good. It's a ringer, but you guys can't use it. Just like I'm using enhanced entities because I'm not using whatever, like zombies, whatever. You know, it's my way.
How about enhanced
Customized.
justice?
Or if I change it and go by columns, it would be Freedom Legion. The
I don't
Freedom
think there's a
What the
number
good
of
news is?
That sounds
I
kind of superhero.
I don't think 4 people are a lead.
Freedom
I don't
Knights
know.
sound like Mark said that, or what our viewer, long-term viewer, Freedom Knights sounds like a sex club.
Well, it's like coming up with a porn star name, you know?
It's kind of, yeah.
Get in the street you live on, you know?
Freedom. Thank you, Professor. The good news is, guys, you all have 2 weeks to think about it because we've come to the end of our session, and you're going to
Freedom
be
Legion is our new name.
you're going to find out
Do it.
stop, and I guess hopefully find out who's behind and put a stop to snuff films being or exploitation, human traffic based on human trafficking, misery films, I guess, misery porn.
Misery Films.
Mm-hmm. Well, we just came up with the name of the film company behind the Portuguese film company. It's called Misery Films.
Okay, I'll write that down too.
The
Yeah,
one thing
put
that's
that
going
up
to
in
make
the
you
wiki.
leave a body count, the one thing is human trafficking. You want the streets to run red with blood? You bring me some human traffickers. I'll spread them so thin we'll be able to make a sandwich out of them.
The Freedom Legion will get to the bottom of it.
I still don't think 4 people make a legion.
You don't like enhanced justice?
It's the smallest legion you've ever seen.
But it
Hey,
sounds
don't make fun of
better
my
than-
Legion.
But it sounds better than Platoon, Freedom Platoon, Freedom Company.